People have changed. That's a fact. And you are not imagining it. And I know you are quick to question yourself constantly. I know people gaslight and manipulate you. I know that you toss and turn at night thinking, well, what would my religion say, whatever. But no, we need to stick to the cold, harsh, brutal truth. People have changed. You're not going crazy. This is the truth. And by being rooted in the truth and not bullshit, you set yourself up to protect yourself and actually go on to live a more successful, fruitful, healthier, and more peaceful life. And if you're sick and tired of all the lies and the nonsense, you need to join my community where we band together and discuss our personal matters through the lens of truth. Join the No Bullshit Society for free today. The link's in the description and the pinned comment down below. So, we have very vivid imaginations. We constantly second guess ourselves as empaths. We, like I said, are kept up at night, wondering, questioning, is this right? Is this normal? Have I lost my mind? What's going on here? By trying to make sense of the cold hard truth is the most bitter pill to swallow. We were raised and born in a world and society to believe in the good of people. If you go to church or a synagogue or whatever, it's the same thing. Your teachings tells you to see the good in people. And there's nothing wrong with the teaching. But what's wrong is assuming that people are on your wavelength. That people have the decent human decency that you have. That people think empathetically. That people are as sensitive. When in actual fact they have changed. And they are getting worse. Not as the years go by, but as the weeks go by. Just look at what's happened in America in the past couple of days even. For you to understand the true rhetoric of good versus evil. But when I say people have changed, I'm going to say a word that I've never really said about people on this channel. And that is people are cruel. Cruel and nasty. Now, it's not all people. I wouldn't decipher myself to be that, nor my missus, nor the people in and around my life, because I've got incredible boundaries. And especially the people in my community as well are some of the warmest and nicest I've ever met online. However, the cruelness and nastiness of people is a truth. Now, why would you think you're imagining it? Because throughout your life, however young or old you are, wherever you live in the world, it's not just a Western thing, you have had these conversations, you've had these thoughts and beliefs on your own. And even if you were born into a big family, and even if you're constantly around people, these thoughts that are not dark are the truth. So I'll give you a great example. You are there and you see the behavior of a co-worker and see that they've gradually become more selfish and entitled. You see the behavior of a family member pushing the boundaries further and further and further as they quote unquote get older. You see that relationship you're in, that marriage, spiral into despair and misery, go down the toilet as that so-called partner that once loved you, that was apparently loyal and everything, become crueler. I have a very generic but important analysis about this. And it makes perfect sense in a logical, no bullshit way. Since 2020, especially, I have said people have become more selfish and entitled than ever before. With their time taken away from them through lockdowns and so on, through their jobs potentially, through just a massive reset, either organized or not, we won't go there. Something switched even further in these people, but there's a caveat to this, so please bear with me. These people were always toxic. These people were always selfish. These people were natural-born narcissists. And they were looking for a fire, an excuse to basically take their cruelty to another level. That's exactly what has happened here. And whilst people have changed, the colder, harsher, more brutal truth is they've always been like this. And that's the most mind-blowing, mind-numbing thing about it. But you might say, but hang on a second. They used to be kind. They used to be warm. They used to be there for me. It was all an act. But they said they loved me. It was a lie. But they'd do anything for me. It was all part of a bigger plan. These people are not evil geniuses, don't get me wrong. They are out for themselves and out for agenda. So whilst we can be shocked that our partners have left us after 20 odd years and said they never loved us and hate us and say they've changed, no. They were always like this. They were just waiting for the right moment. But I used to be so close with this friend and now they're a different person. They were always like this. But because you leveled up, because you did something better than them, because they're egomaniacs, they can't handle it. But my partner was amazing at the beginning. We had a honeymoon period. We loved everything. Now it's just so cold. It was to trap you. It was to get you to trust them. And then the mask slipped. But, my colleagues were so close to me. Now they're isolated away from me. Why is that? Why would they just turn against me? Because they were never for you in the first place. So yes, people have changed. But actually, the deeper message behind all of this is you've changed your perception of people. You've seen people for who they really are. And as I've always said in my videos, when somebody shows you and tells you who they really are, bloody believe them. You've seen the levels of attention seeking that they'll go to. You've seen the cruelty, the nastiness, and the betrayal. It could take months or years or decades to truly heal from this, unfortunately. But only if you stay rooted in denial. Only if your imagination, that vivid, beautiful imagination, runs riot on you and keeps you stuck, keeps you in the rhetoric of lies, deception, and naivety. Don't get me wrong. Some people change for the better. And this is also a bitter pill to swallow. Take me, for example. I was a gambling addict. I was an idiot, immature. I was a bit arrogant. I was stupid. I had toxic traits. Now I don't recognize that man or boy any longer. I became sober. I leveled up. I took accountability. And my imagination tells me, well, if I can change, if I can stare into the abyss of darkness and come out a better man, if I can reflect, if I can inspire millions of people to do this, why can't my uncle? Why can't my friend? Why can't this person? Why can't that person? Why can't my neighbor? Why can't my colleague? And that's where our imagination plays a devilish, evil trick on us. Encouraging us and telling us that everybody thinks like us. I'm sure you're familiar with the term wolf in sheep's clothing. They could stand next to you, share a bed with you, start a business with you, make love to you, and more. They could do beautiful things for you. They could save your life. They can loan you money when you're in a hard time. They can be there for you. And then in the blink of an eye, from your perspective, they've changed. They have never changed. You have now changed your perception on them. It is important to grieve the person and the people we once loved. It is important to grieve and mourn the people that we let into our homes, into our hearts. It is important to cry. It is important to scream and shout. It is important to express yourself. And then comes the most beautiful part of it all. The realization that they were not the people you thought they were. So, when I left a toxic relationship, I tried to do so twice. And the first time I failed because I didn't understand the person nor myself. The second time I succeeded, and for good, because I held a mental funeral for the death of the idea of that individual. The idea of that person was not the reality. And what is an idea? It's a thought. And where do thoughts live? In our head, in our imagination. When we spiral and we look at these people and we analyze and we say, am I going crazy? Have they changed? You're not going crazy. They haven't changed. They've always been like this. Am I imagining things, or are they getting worse? They are getting worse because they're getting more comfortable with abusing and disrespecting you, and you're not imagining it. I'm not sure if this is weird. I'm getting a weird vibe about these people. Like, I find them to be a bit colder and like distant. You're not wrong. They are colder and distant because they have an agenda. They can't communicate and say, listen, I'm upset with you about something. Instead, they hold grudges, gossip, and spread lies and make you out to be the villain when actually they're the biggest morons going. The best thing you can do is stop imagining these things. And like I said, be dealt in reality. Distance yourself from the betrayed, from the scams, from the liars, from the cheats and the abusers, and come to terms with that fact. And then something incredible happens with the building of boundaries, the assertion of confidence, and with the swallowing of the bitter pill. You become healthier and more at peace. And naturally, you'll be able to swat away like flies the shit, the bullshitters and the liars, and attract the truth in people. And a great place to start that is in my community, the No Bullshit Society. And trust me, these liars, these doomers, these idiots weed their way in, and I kick them the F out. Because we don't take no bullshit. And this is not a place to just talk about conspiracies and stuff. We don't do that there. But to talk about our personal truths and grow and inspire each other. It's free to join. Do so. The link's in the description and pinned comment below. Remember, I'm going to say this until the cows come home, which means, in English slang, forever and ever. People have not changed. They've always been this way. The thing that's changed is your perception on people and their behaviors, and most importantly, their unfair treatment of you. What are you going to do about it? Boundaries. No contact. Walk away. Seek peace. And live in the real world. No longer your imagination. Are you sick and tired of feeling stuck in life or being weighed down by endless struggles? Maybe you're exhausted from being walked all over, or tired of never having boundaries, or not saying no, walking away, or stuck in toxic cycles and situations. Well, imagine breaking free from all of that, feeling powerful and totally in control of your life. When you work with me, there's no BS, no fluff, just real, personal transformation. Now, you've seen my journey on YouTube. about the power of walking away from the wrong people, overcoming addiction, handling grief, empowering myself from being rock bottom. But this isn't about me. This is not my story. This is your story. Imagine having a life on your terms, having a healthier, better relationship, being able to overcome your struggles and actually be at peace and taste happiness, maybe for the first time ever in your life. Now, other coaches fail when it comes to getting real results because they offer you generic advice that is not catered to you. It's a one-size-fits-all program and it's a load of BS. But I'm different. I listen to you. I take notes. I ask the deep questions and personalize and cater to your needs to take you from where you are now to where you truly want to be. And it's a lot easier and simpler than you think. So here's what I want you to do. If you are genuinely serious about change and personal transformation, book a free discovery call right now down below. And also check out the testimonials from real people and real success stories of men and even women who've turned their lives around thanks to me. There are only limited spots available, to take advantage of this now. And it's only for serious people who are serious about change. So let's not delay. Let's not keep you where you are now, stuck in the same cycles, the same routines for another year. Let's work together and break free together and live life finally on your terms.